As a kid, nothing is more exciting than first learning to ride a bike. While many of us learn to ride with training wheels, we've found the balance first method more effective for both the student and the teacher. This means children learn to balance before pedaling. Balance bikes are great for younger riders to start off on, but they're typically only available in smaller sizes. However, there's an easy workaround if your child has outgrown available balance bike options. As a temporary measure, the pedals can be removed to start the learning process. Just be aware that the cranks will still be there and could possibly hit the rider's legs. It's best to have a wide-open, smoothly paved, flat area with no obstacles in the way, such as this park trail. Ideally, the learning area has some shade. In this video, we'll be learning to ride on a lightweight, single-speed kids bike. This bike has 2 rim brakes instead of a coaster brake. Before getting started, it's important to make sure you have the right size bike. There should be a few inches clearance between the inseam of the rider and the top tube of the frame. Be sure to adjust the saddle so the child can be seated, feet flat on the ground, knees slightly bent. Having a wider stance will help the child avoid the cranks. As mentioned earlier, with the balance first method, we recommend removing the pedals at first. When using a pedal wrench to remove them, remember that the left pedal is counter-threaded, so it will untwist the opposite direction. It's best to orient the cranks horizontally. Instruct the rider to use a wide stance to avoid the cranks. You'll also want to ensure the tires are inflated properly. Next up, helmets. Helmets are crucial for young children and need to be properly fitted. Helmets should sit level on the forehead, with a few finger widths between helmet and eyebrows. Helmet straps should form a V around each ear, and the chin strap should be snug, but not too tight. With our bike and helmet ready, we'll just need one more thing before we begin: a good attitude. At this early stage of learning to ride, we can lower the seat even further to allow both feet to comfortably rest on the ground. In order to instill confidence, it helps to teach braking before we start pedaling. We advise teaching your rider to use their handbrakes primarily, even if they have foot brakes. Explain that the right brake lever engages the rear brake, and the left brake lever engages the front brake. Teach the importance of using both brakes at once, and never squeeze the left brake lever by itself. With the seat lowered and with a wide stance, have the rider walk forward in small steps with their full weight on the seat. Either let them walk the bike by pushing with alternate feet or row the bike by pushing both feet at the same time. When walking the bike, make sure they keep their eyes up, look forward, and focus on what's ahead. Before we get rolling any faster than this, we are going to practice braking again. Once our student feels confident walking their bike, we're ready to level up to gliding. To teach this next skill, demonstrate giving a big push and then lifting up your feet. Provide encouragement, be patient, and celebrate small successes as they build momentum during this stage. Once they can glide at least 30 feet without touching down, we're ready to move on. Now, in anticipation of installing the pedals, we'll want to raise the seat about an inch. We'll start with one pedal on the bike and help the student practice pushing off with pedals. For now, let's just install the right pedal. The easiest way to get started using pedals is called the power pedal position. This is where the crank arm is roughly parallel to the down tube at about the 2 o'clock position. This gives the best leverage to boost off from a standstill. To get in position, first you'll lean the bike slightly to the left and put all your weight on that left foot. Then rotate the right pedal to a higher position. Next, have the child place their right foot on the right pedal. Lastly, instruct the student to push down on the right pedal. Remind them to look straight ahead as they glide forward. We're ready to install the left pedal. Once again, we'll use the power pedal position, this time with both pedals on the bike. Remind them to keep looking ahead as they set out. First, they'll get a good boost of speed from their push-off with their right foot in the power pedal position. Next, they'll find the left pedal and start pedaling. Before they get too carried away in this moment of excitement, have the rider plan to brake and check back in. After a few repetitions to build muscle memory, they're off and away. High fives are in order after this milestone. Next up on our skills checklist, we'll master the art of dismounting. Once the bike is brought to a stop with the handbrakes, the rider needs to touch down. Lean the bike slightly to the left, then swing the right leg over the rear wheel, so the rider ends up on the non-drive side of the bike. Getting in the habit of using the kickstand after dismounting is a good habit for young riders. Once again, we recommend practicing this until it feels consistent and comfortable. We're now ready to master the final important skill, turning. It helps to set up a course for your student to get some repetition doing the same turns. Small orange cones or tennis balls cut in half both work great here. At first, you can lay out the course with gentle turns, then gradually tighten the turning angle. When practicing sharp turns, teach your student to brake before the turn. Lean slightly in the direction they're going. Keep the inside pedal up. Glide through the sharpest part, then resume pedaling once they're done turning. As always, remind your rider to continue looking up and ahead at where they're going, especially when changing directions. Like all skills, practice makes perfect. Congratulations! You have taught your student the foundational skills they'll need to start exploring the world on two wheels. We wish you many miles of smiles ahead.